One of the best singers of all time, Celine Dion, has had a life full of ups and downs, from her amazing performances on stage to her painful personal life. But was her finish really happy? Were her health problems and the death of a loved one enough to keep her commitment to music? In this movie, let's look at Celine Dion's life and the hard times she went through. Early life and work before March 30th, 1968. The singer Celine Marie-Claudette Dion was born in Charlemagne, Quebec, Canada. She is the 14th child in a family of 14. The big Dion family had a lot of money problems. But her family loved music and things were always lively, especially when the whole family got together. This shaped Celine, who from a young age made singing an important part of her life. At age 5, Celine began singing traditional French songs at family gatherings. Even though they were poor, her family always helped her with her singing business. The first song Celine ever recorded was called "It's Just a Dream." At age 12, she gave the tape to Renee Angel, a music manager in Montreal, who had an impact on the Canadian entertainment business at her mother's request. Angel, a person who is creative and successful, was immediately drawn to her voice because it sounded hopeful. Because Celine was so good, he helped her get Le Voir du Bon Dieu out in 1981. This was Celine Dion's first record, and it did well in Canada. It made her famous in Quebec. Even though she was young, her voice was strong and sweet. Celine's success kept going. When her song became a hit, Renee Angel took over as Celine's manager and helped her go global. Angel saw her ability early on and jumped at every chance to show her off to the world and make her shine on big stages. Sheila E. and Renee Angel were more than just singers and managers. Despite their different ages, this relationship turned into a deep love. Renee Angel, who had worked in the music business for a long time, became Celine's permanent partner. Their wedding in 1994 was a sign of love and success in the show business. It was Renee Angel who helped Celine Dion do well in singing. He helped her speak up even though they didn't speak the same language. Celine's success grew all over the world when she put out English-language albums. A lot of people around the world know her from songs like "My Heart Will Go On" from Titanic. The unique bond between Celine Dion and Renee Angel has not only helped her career grow, but it has also turned their relationship into a timeless love story in the entertainment business. Ascent in your career. When Celine Dion signed with Epic Records in the early 1990s, her business changed around the world. Unison, her first record in English, came out in 1990 and was her first entry into the American music market. Celine had already had success in Canada and other places with records in French, but Unison was her first album that helped her become known in the United States. The album did pretty well, but with songs like "Where Does My Heart Beat Now?", Celine started to get noticed from all over the world. Soon after that, Celine kept putting out great records. Her next two albums, Falling Into You, 1996, and Let's Talk About Love, 1997, made her one of the most famous and popular artists in the world for sure. Celine Dion won 5 Grammys for her album Falling Into You, including Album of the Year and Best Pop Vocal Album. This made the album even more famous. In Celine Dion's career, this was one of her biggest hits, proving her immense ability and making her one of the most famous artists in the world. Music charts couldn't have lived without songs like Because You Love Me, It's All Coming Back to Me Now, and All By Myself. People all over the world love these songs. However, Celine Dion's most important song is My Heart Will Go On, which was on the soundtrack of the movie Titanic. The deep melody and emotional words of this song not only made the movie a huge hit, but they also helped Celine Dion win over millions of fans all over the world. She won 2 Grammys and an Oscar for Best Original Song for this song. People think that Celine's song, My Heart Will Go On, is one of the best songs of all time and will always be associated with the movie. In addition to putting out great albums, Celine Dion continued to show how important she was by performing. She began a long-term singing show at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas in 2003. People say that A New Day is one of the biggest shows in Las Vegas history. Millions of people came to see Celine Dion, and she was praised for her hard work and great show performance. Not only was it a musical event, but it was also a big step in Celine Dion's career that helped her stay famous and make her feel more secure in the music business. The show, called A New Day, ran for more than 5 years, and Celine gave fans a memorable show with music, lights, and pictures. With her successful music business and loving family life, Celine Dion and her husband Renee Angel have had some of the best years of their lives together. Behind the scenes, though, her life has had some problems and lost some things. Between Celine and Renee, from the first days they met to when they had a happy family together, their relationship shows that love can get through anything. But what did Celine Dion do when she lost her partner? Having an affair with Renee Angel. Not only were Celine Dion and Renee Angel married, but they were also a great match for each other in terms of their work. Renee, who was a music director at the time, was blown away by Celine's singing when they first met when she was only 12 years old. But at first, their friendship was only business-related. Renee became Celine's manager and helped her build her music business. Renee helped Celine put out hit records, and she quickly became famous all over the world. Over time, they fell in love with each other, and in 1994, they got married. There was a lot of interest in this marriage because Renee Angel was 26 years older than Celine at the time, and it wasn't usual for a famous artist and a manager to be seeing each other. But their love was stronger than any bias, and they became famous in the music business. Angel and Dion have 3 kids together and are very happy with their family. Eddie and Nelson were born in 2010, as well as Renee Charles in 2001. There is always love in Celine and Renee's family life. They are both very busy with work, but they always find time to love and care for their kids. She once said that having kids makes her whole and happy, and she always thinks that family is the most important thing in life. Not only do Celine and Renee love each other, but they also help and support each other as they go through their careers. What changed Celine Dion's life, though, was Renee Angel's death in 2016 after a long fight with nasopharyngeal cancer. Renee had been sick for a long time and was very sick. During his treatment, Celine was always by his side to care for and support him. There have been many hard times in their marriage, but their love for each other has not changed. To the singer, Renee's death was very painful. She lost 2 important people in her life, her partner of 22 years, and someone who was very important to her work. In addition to being her husband, Renee was also her boss and always there for Celine when she had to make a big choice. Celine Dion once said she couldn't picture her life without Renee. Since the death of Renee Angel, Celine Dion has had a lot of hard times. Even though she was sad and had lost someone, she kept making songs and set an example for her fans. She told Renee that she felt like she was always with her through every step of her life. Many people admire and honor her for how strong and tough she has been during this time. Celine Dion still loves and remembers her late husband, even though her family life has changed. There is more to Celine Dion's story than just her successful singing career. It is also a story of love, sacrifice, and finding the strength to get through pain, a job crisis, and health problems. In January 2016, when Renee Angel died, Celine Dion lost not only her partner and husband, but also her beautiful boss. The death of Renee had a huge effect on her, both personally and professionally. Even though Celine Dion was strong, the loss made her rethink how she spent her time with her family and at work. Celine chose to cut back on the regular shows that had been a big part of her work for a long time. Her show at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, which had been going on since 2003 and had become a big part of her life, was put on hold. She started to only show up at big events and TV shows instead. It was hard for the famous singer to find a balance between her personal and business life, so she spent more time with her sons. As of 2018, Celine Dion had a major health problem that kept her from performing as planned and worried her fans. After a long time of traveling, she started losing weight quickly, which made a big difference in how she looked. The public was worried about Celine Dion's weight loss, because she was known for her lively looks and energetic performances. People who liked the band paid attention to this change, and it also caused a stir in the media. At first, she had to cancel some shows on her 2018 Courage World Tour, which made fans worry about her health. A lot of people started to guess and spread false information about her, like that she had a tight diet or mental health issues. Celine Dion chose to tell the truth, though, about her health. She said that she hadn't tried any diets or had plastic surgery to lose weight so quickly. Instead, she had a health problem with her muscles. Muscle spasm disorder is a rare disease that Celine Dion has been identified with. It makes it hard for her to move her body normally because her muscles contract without her control. And for Dion, this hurts the muscles in her face and body, especially when she sings and moves on stage. Furthermore, this hurt her body and made her feel like she had lost control of her body, which was something she had always been proud of in her work. Many Celine Dion fans are still worried about her health, even though the truth has come out. The singer has to deal with some health issues as well as has to deal with negative assessments and rumors from the news. Many people were worried and wanted to help, but many also didn't like how she looked and even said Celine Dion had lost too much weight by forcing herself to do it. She was very sad about this because her fans, who have always loved and followed her, didn't fully understand why she had changed. The fight against sickness. It was shocking news for everyone when Celine Dion told everyone about her health situation in 2021. A rare neurological disease called stiff person syndrome was found in the famous singer. This is an autoimmune disease that makes muscles stiff, hurts all the time, and makes it very hard to move. Celine Dion said that the disease makes her body stiff and hard to control, even when she is doing easy things, and makes painful spasms happen. People rarely get stiff person syndrome, which happens when the immune system attacks muscle tissue in the body. This causes muscles to tighten, lose their flexibility, and hurt very badly. Celine Dion said that she was in constant pain and felt like she couldn't control her body properly. Doctors said that the disease can make it very hard for the person to move around and do normal things. Celine Dion also said that the disease got worse slowly over a long time, making her hurt and making it hard for her to do movements that are important to her job as a singer. Celine Dion's career took a big turn because of this. Around the middle of 2021, the singer had to say that she would be stopping her tour and other performances for an indefinite amount of time. She said that she couldn't act as well as she used to because she was sick and had to cancel her music shows. The fan group was very worried about this. Celine Dion has been known for decades for her strong and emotional performances, which show how much she loves music. But because of her current health, she has to face the fact that her job as an actress will be severely cut short. Hasn't been afraid to talk about how sad and helpless she feels that she can't keep acting like she used to. She was upset when she had to say she couldn't go on tour anymore, especially since she had spent so much time getting ready for it. My whole life has been about singing and performing on stage, but now I'm having problems I couldn't have seen coming. I'd like to thank everyone who has loved and supported me all this time. In a video message to her fans, Celine Dion said, "I will fight to come back to see you again." This made her fans worried about her health and start to think about her future in the music business. Celine Dion is one of the most famous artists in music history, and her career is marked by global hits like "My Heart Will Go On" and "The Power of Love." When she got sick, she decided to temporarily stop performing. A lot of people felt bad about what they did and were worried about this music star's future. It can be hard to help people who have stiff person syndrome. Doctors have told Celine Dion that she needs to start a long-term treatment program to get better and lessen her symptoms. On the other hand, this disease can't be cured fully, and managing the symptoms is an ongoing process. Even so, Celine Dion is still strong and has faith that she will be able to return to the stage one day. She said that she always believes in the power of love and support from her family, friends, and fans, even though she doesn't know what the future holds. During this hard time, Celine Dion also got a lot of support and motivation from her late husband René Angel and other family members. They gave her a lot of strength as she dealt with her illness. Celine Dion also said that the memories and love she had with her family, especially her kids, gave her the strength to get through the pain. At the moment, Celine Dion is still getting care. She hopes that one day she will be able to go back on stage and keep making music for everyone. The sad end of Celine Dion's life. When Renee died in 2016, Celine Dion had a huge hole in her life that could never be filled. As husband and wife and business partners, they had been together for more than 20 years. Renee was not only her husband, but also her boss, a great friend, and a guide in her work life. Renee's death was the biggest shock of Celine Dion's life, and she never thought she'd live without him. Celine Dion's work has had some good times, but the pain of losing her husband has overshadowed them. She has 3 sons, Renee Charles, Eddie, and Nelson. After Renee left, nothing can fill the hole in her heart. An interview with Celine Dion revealed that the loss of Renee was the most painful thing she had ever gone through. Without him, I don't know what I would do. At this point, she only knew how to pay attention to her family and kids. But being away from her husband, who had been her partner her whole life, made her feel even more alone. On the other hand, Celine Dion's life got even harder when she was diagnosed with a disease that affected her nerves. She couldn't move around as easily as she used to because of the pain and stiff muscles, which made it hard for her to do even simple daily tasks. She felt like she could hardly do anything when things were really bad. Talking about her sickness, Celine Dion said that the pain was so bad some days that she couldn't even get out of bed. She said that feeling like she had no control made her very desperate. Even though Celine Dion was in a lot of physical and mental pain, she always tried to stay positive, even though she still couldn't forget her late husband. She felt sad and shocked when she lost Renee, and it also changed the way she thought about things, putting her farther away from other people and society. It made Celine Dion feel even more alone and miserable that she had to stop singing. Though there were times when she just wanted to give up, Celine Dion had a hard time with both her sickness and her sadness. The singer said that the love of her boys and the support of her friends and family were the only things that made her feel better during these very hard times. She understood that she had to be strong for her kids and her family in general. She was still sad every day though. I need to keep living for my kids. But like Celine Dion said, there are times when I just want to cry. Following Renee's death, Celine Dion worked hard to heal her heart and carry on as a mother. But these hard years left a deep mark on her life because she lost a lot of things, both mentally and physically. Many of Celine Dion's fans feel deeply sorry for her and understand how she feels because she has lived with physical pain, mental loss, and constant loneliness. Celine Dion is still dealing with loss and pain, but she stays strong and hopeful in this fight. She keeps looking forward to the future and wants to go back on stage to share her songs, legacy, and stories, no matter how painful her past is, with everyone. Even though Celine Dion had a lot of problems in her personal and professional life, she left behind a huge and unreplaceable body of work in the history of world music. Let's look at the important things she did, left behind, and influenced. With her strong voice and great technique, Celine wrote classic songs that not only won her fans' hearts, but also changed the style of music during that decade. The movie Titanic's theme song, My Heart Will Go On, and Diane Warren's Because You Love Me, have become classics, not only because of their beautiful tunes, but also because of how deeply they make people feel. These are the songs that made Celine Dion one of the most popular singers of all time. Millions of copies have been sold around the world. My Heart Will Go On has become a sign of love that lasts forever and getting through anything. When Titanic came out in 1997, this ballad not only became the theme song for the famous love story, but it also became a classic that won over millions of hearts all over the world. When Celine Dion's voice and James Horner's music came together, they made a song that will go down in history, getting many Grammy Awards and an Oscar for Best Original Song. Celine Dion was praised not only for her singing skills, but also for how creatively she used each word in her songs to show how she felt. Also, Because You Love Me One of Celine Dion's most famous songs is A Sign of Love and Thanks for a Loved One. Nicole Warren wrote this song, which is now one of the best songs ever, especially for parties or weddings. It shows how much Celine Dion loves and cares for the people who have helped her in her work and personal life. Celine Dion not only left behind a lot of great music, but she also had a huge impact on the music business. With her strong voice and great stage presence, Celine has created a unique style of performance that can captivate any crowd, from large crowds to small intimate shows. She was one of the first artists to bring back old songs in a new way by combining pop and classical styles. Many young artists look up to Celine because she is so careful when she performs and can show how she feels through her voice. Celine Dion has not only had a huge impact on generations of fans, but she has also become a huge model for young singers who want to follow in her footsteps. Many famous singers, including Mariah Carey, Beyoncé, and Adele, have said that Celine Dion inspired them to become singers. They not only admire Celine's amazing talent, but they also learn from her how to make a job last and improve their singing. Her name is Celine Dion. Ideal example for people who want to become singers and have a strong desire to succeed through hard work and loving music all the time. The awards and records Celine Dion has won over the course of her work also show her musical legacy. Many important music awards, including 5 Grammys, have been given to Celine Dion. Her albums have also sold a lot of copies. 20 Juno Awards, and many more music awards around the world. These accomplishments show not only how talented she is as a musician, but also how much the music world loves and respects her. Do you remember the most moving moment in Celine Dion's career? Please tell us what you think in the space below. Please get in touch with us. Do not forget to like the movie and follow the channel for more interesting news. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next film.